This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm John Scalzi. Pleasant start to the day. We do have some showers around this morning, though.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty foggy drive in this morning.
That's the other thing. There is some patchy fog.
Right.
It's not as widespread as it was yesterday or even overnight around 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. There was pretty widespread along the coastline. Now it's kind of patchy, but where you encounter it, it's thick.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. I definitely had to make sure I was keeping my eye on where I was going and driving and other drivers and so on and so forth.
Pull up off the gas pedal just a little bit to get where you're going. The rain showers will be around throughout the morning hours, and then I think we'll be able to get rid of them this afternoon. We'll have a little bit more sunshine as we head into the afternoon as well. The reason for the showers is a cold front, the first of well, actually 3 that we can talk about. This cold front today will lower our temperatures a little bit. It'll certainly reduce our humidity some. Yesterday, the humidity values were just thick. Today, I think we'll probably top it out in the mid-70s as opposed to upper 70s. And those rain showers should come to an end around here about lunchtime or so, a little before probably. And that'll leave us with a little more sunshine during the second half of the day. We'll have the complete forecast, including these next 2 cold fronts headed our way in just a few.
All right, thanks so much, John. We're taking a look at your Suncoast traffic this morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Not a whole lot going on over in Bradenton. Most of the roads look clear out in that direction. Moving on to Sarasota County, roads as well. Looking pretty well out there. Little traffic picking up on Bee Ridge Road and 41. Over in South County, looks like the roads are all clear in that direction as well. Well, topping our news this morning, a heated discussion at City Hall may be leading to compromises between Sarasota commissioners and locals living in Newtown. ABC 7's Ray Collins has the details.
But every time we try something, we'll cut off at the knee.
Valerie Bouchard of Newtown says the city of Sarasota was wrong to close a makeshift car wash on this lot and also wrong to make a woman stop selling hot dogs out of this lot.
And the people that don't want us to succeed, they keep putting these barriers. What's up with that? I mean, we always talk about being creative. When we be creative, guess what? Y'all tell us to go back in our houses and close our doors. Come out when dark comes and sell the people that come off the beach drugs.
We're trying, but you all are standing in our way. As soon as we try to do something, then y'all come in and enforce codes, rules, regulations.
Tim Litchett's in charge of rules and regulations in Sarasota.
If somebody gets sick from eating bad food somewhere, the news story is going to be, why didn't Tim Litchett shut down that illegal vendor when he knew they were out there, when he knew they weren't doing the right thing?
And as for that car wash on this lot the city shut down?
I personally called the lot owner. I found him in California, and they told me they had never given authority for this person to be on their lot. In fact, they'd had other problems on the lot, and they didn't want somebody on that lot.
In the end, commissioners talked about finding ways to make it easier for vendors to make a buck legally.
Maybe we can develop a short-term licensing, how to get licensed class, so that you can, walk through this process and maybe even with fee waivers.
Fee waivers aside, the mayor said keep in mind anyone could come in and be a licensed vendor in Newtown.
Let us be wise enough as a community, my fellow community members, to understand that you don't open the door to let everybody in undo what you think you're doing.
Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks so much, Ray. Well, a city commissioner is getting some backlash on social media for a recent email. On December 30th, Susan Chapman sent an email to the city manager and other city officials regarding so-called ambulance scofflaws. In the email, Chapman says 2 ambulances were again using Orange Avenue as a cut-through from the hospital. And since Orange is a residential street, those vehicles need to be ticketed. A copy of the email was then posted on at least 2 different Facebook pages, and some people are leaving negative comments. Now, we spoke to Chapman about the issue, and she tells us she did write that email, though she feels it was put on social media sites in part because of the upcoming election for the 2 at-large seats on the Sarasota City Commission. This morning, city commissioners are also one step closer to making a decision about new signs in downtown Sarasota, now considering hiring an architect to help with that process. The signs would go up on Main Street and US 301 and US 41. Yesterday, the Sarasota Downtown Improvement District discussed the costs and design of the gateway signs, and a proposal is expected to be brought before the commission, but will most likely take several months to prepare. And new this morning, locals in Sarasota are preparing to launch a solar co-op program. Today, the first conference for the group is being held, and speakers from the Florida House Institute, the League of Women Voters Sarasota, and Florida Solar United Neighborhoods will all be chiming in. They say their efforts are aimed at trimming down costs for any locals interested in solar power, as joining the co-op would then allow them to order supplies in bulk for up to 20% cheaper than doing so alone. All homeowners in Sarasota County are eligible to participate. The Florida Department of Health is warning Sarasota County residents of a rabies alert in Venice and Northport. This after the department received positive lab testing for rabies in a bobcat. Health officials say 2 bobcat attacks took place within 4 miles of each other in East Venice, and say all domestic animals are at risk if not vaccinated. Sarasota County residents are encouraged to not put any pet food outside and also supervise your pets. Now, the rabies alert is in effect for 60 days in Northport and Venice. Well, a new sheriff is in Manatee County for the first time in nearly a decade. Sheriff Rick Wells has officially been sworn in and has plenty of initiatives planned for the coming months. ABC 7's Kate Flexter has the details.
Among the topics Sheriff Wells mentioned today were community policing, as well as Manatee County's heroin epidemic. They're all areas he plans to focus on in the coming months.
There really is no time for celebration. We're getting to work today.
Raise your right hand.
Minutes after he was sworn in, it was back to business for Sheriff Rick Wells. On his list of priorities, tackling the heroin epidemic.
The heroin epidemic is devastating families. We have to do more to stop those drugs from coming into our county. So we have to work together. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office cannot do it alone.
He also stressed the importance of community policing, something he says is much more than a catchphrase.
You have to be in those communities, and you have to be building relationships, and you can't just talk about it. You have to do it.
But as Manatee County grows, Sheriff Wells says the most immediate need for change is in hiring staff to accommodate.
Just trying to keep our men and women available for proactive patrol. And if you're going from call to call to call, it's hard to be proactive, so we got to increase that staff. I know we'll get that done.
They're all familiar topics for Wells, who served as chief of the Palmetto Police Department for 5 years, and most recently as second in command to Sheriff Brad Stubbe, who's been his advocate.
I'm staying in Manatee County, and my family lives here as well, and I wouldn't have just arbitrarily picked someone who was not qualified to do this job, and Rick is qualified to do it, and I think he'll do an outstanding job.
For Wells, it's been a lifelong goal.
It's something that I believe has been in my blood for a long time, and I think that together, we truly can make a huge difference in the safety of others in Manatee County.
Stubbe tells us this was actually part of a succession plan that he's had in place since he became sheriff 10 years ago. For now, in Manatee County, Kate Flexter, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, also in Bradenton, a handful of other government officials have been sworn in, among them Wayne Poston, who is serving his 5th term of office as the mayor, Vice Mayor Gene Gallo, who then nominated Patrick Roth to serve as the new vice mayor, and Councilman Harold Byrd, who will serve Ward 5 in the city of Bradenton. For Mayor Poston, he says with only a few days into the new year, he's hopeful for new strides for the city in 2017.
I love the job. I love doing what we're doing. I've been able to hire well. We have good people in the city, and we're making progress for the people who live here.
Mayor Poston says the voices of his diverse community are what matter to him most. And the Northport Police Department is looking for volunteers. They're seeking 20 locals who want to take part in the 2017 Citizens Public Safety Academy. Now, participants can learn how the Northport Police and Fire Departments work. They can also learn defense tactics, CPR certification, and how to react in different and serious situations. It is a free program aimed at getting to know the community and allowing the community to learn more about law enforcement. So if you'd like to join, get in touch with the Northport Police Department. And after nearly 9 years that have passed in the kidnapping and murder of a Northport woman, one foundation is trying to improve the way 911 calls are handled. Back then, Denise Amber Lee and a number of witnesses called 911. But an error in the way those calls were handled is blamed for lack of a quick response to her abduction. Now her husband is opening a foundation to make sure others don't have to suffer the same fate.
I know that she would want me to be a good influence for the boys and to show them that bad things are going to happen to you in your life. It's not that defines you, it's what you do about it.
Nathan Lee tells us while the location is just now opening, he's already shared his late wife's story with 911 operators in 36 different states. Well, the Oslo Repertory Theater is preparing for a new production. Born Yesterday is scheduled to debut next month, and the show is about junkyard magnate Harry Brock as he moves to Washington, D.C. with his girlfriend, where he hopes to break into some special interest business. His move then leads him to hiring a young reporter to help shape up his ungraceful girlfriend. The comedy also does touch on politics with a bit of commentary. Born Yesterday debuts on February 8th and runs through April. Posters celebrating the success of a new educational app. Brian and Justin Gregorius created the app Storytime to help parents and children read together across long distances. For military families, grandparents, or even for parents who work maybe that late shift, the app features a unique platform for users to interact and read stories together. So far, the app has been recognized as one to watch in national competitions and currently has over 3,000 different books and counting. Well, that is certainly an interesting app, John.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a military family, I don't know how many times I have, you know, my dad would send videos of him reading a book to make me, you know, feel like he was there. But an app to be able to share that is great.
That's an awesome idea. Yeah, I hope it really takes off and the word gets out and it spreads around.
Yeah, definitely. And that new show coming, Book Yesterday.
Neat.
Yeah.
We have some scattered showers around the area too. That's pretty neat. We need some. That'll be a short-term event. It'll probably start to wind down by midday. We'll talk about what it means to our weather in a minute.
All right, thanks so much, John. Well, still ahead is a new federal rule helping local health or invading personal privacy. How the Suncoast is reacting to the public housing smoking ban. And coming up a little later in the hour, could Republicans taking the lead in Washington put an end to Planned Parenthood? Why many believe the possibility is stronger than ever. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Port Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the third free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window, we manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, cruise for cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day rockin' and riding at the ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbythebay.org.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, so we got some things going on in the atmosphere right now that are stirring it up just a little bit, changing things around, bringing us a little bit of rainfall. If you look at the temperature map across the state, it's clear that there's some cooler air back to the north, 59 Pensacola, 55 Panama City, 56 in Tallahassee. Then you jump to Gainesville, it's 62. You jump to Tampa, it's 71 in the 70s, carry you all the way down to the tip of the state. The frontal boundary is approaching our area between Gainesville and Tampa, and it is slowly sinking southward. It'll be through here, I think, by, well, they start to move into here by mid-morning and then probably leave the entire area by mid-afternoon or so. As it does that, it helps to trigger off a shower or two, increase our cloud cover. The cloud cover kind of keeping our temperatures pretty uniform across the region, with 70 degrees Wauchula, 72 in Arcadia, Mayaca, 74 in Northport, 72 in Venice, 70 in Sarasota, 71 in Parrish, and Bradenton the same. We have some spotty showers across the region, nothing really heavy, no tremendous amounts of rainfall, certainly no severe weather, but we do have some breezy winds as well at times. South-southwest now at about 5. 70-degree air temperature, pretty warm. That's our normal daytime high just about. So again, we're looking at another warm day. Yesterday we were about a little over 10 degrees above average for the daytime high, about 7 degrees on the daytime high, and about 11 degrees on the nighttime low. So, you know, average them up, divide by 2, you get it. We were warm. Today, our temperatures, I think, won't raise too much higher than the 70-degree mark where we are right now. We'll probably add about maybe 5 degrees onto that. The cooling will start to really kick in this afternoon as that front moves through, so our high temperature will probably be reached a little earlier in the day, around noon, 1 o'clock instead of later in the afternoon, and then our temperatures will fall off during the afternoon as that front moves through and our winds shift. If you take a look across the country at the cloud pattern, you kind of notice one thing. We have a general west to east kind of motion in the cloud pattern. There's no diving to the south in these clouds. And what that means is that, yes, we have a couple of fronts coming through currently, 2 fronts, in fact, that we're talking about in the short term, but neither of them are packing a wallop of cold air. The winds are not diving out of the north. So these fronts come through, they lower our humidity a little bit, they kind of shave off a few degrees with each successive passing front, and they lower our temperatures to about average for this time of year. The second front kind of washes away tonight through tomorrow morning, so we get a little extra cloud cover overnight tonight. I don't think we'll see much in the way of rainfall with this second front because the first front's going to dry us out. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see an isolated shower. In any event, what we're going to be waiting for is the third front, which is still back to the west. That's the one coming our way on Saturday that promises us excellent chances of rain and a big cool down. Showers end today, afternoon sun returns, and then cooler this afternoon with perhaps a few more evening clouds. Taking a look across the area right now, you can see those scattered showers moving through the region. Those showers will be coming our way as we head into the rest of the morning hours. Northwest wind at about 10 knots, 2-foot seas, a light chop, and the forecast calls for that chillier weather to arrive over the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Lots of changes in our forecast. Taking a look at Suncoast traffic this morning in Bradenton, some minor congestion on 9th Street East, both north and southbound. Over in Sarasota, some congestion on northbound on Washington and 301. Over in South County towards Venice, all is clear in that direction this morning. And this morning, locals are reacting to a federal rule that bans smoking in public housing, and they aren't too happy about it. ABC 7's Rick Adams has their story.
I think it's invasion of privacy, really.
62-year-old Doris Mays has lived in public housing for more than half of her life. She tells us she isn't thrilled with Sarasota's current ban on smoking in public housing or the national ban that goes into effect later this week.
If it's such a hazard, start at the top and clean them out. Stop selling them. Then the people won't be able to smoke them.
Under the new federal rules, people in public housing can't smoke cigarettes, cigars, pipes, and hookahs in the home, indoor common areas, and all outdoor areas within 25 feet of housing. Tyrese Randall has lived in the Bertha Mitchell housing development in Sarasota for 15 years. He's pretty much in support of this public housing smoking ban.
I think it's a good thing. It's better for the people. It's going to stop a lot of people from smoking, you know what I'm saying, because it's a health risk. But people still gonna do it.
Sarasota County has had a similar law in place since 2011. This is a battle the county says they will continue to fight hard.
The main reason why we work on that area is actually to reduce secondhand smoke exposure. So of course we want to encourage people to quit smoking, but also, as we know, secondhand smoke is a really big concern as well.
For those who break the rules of the smoking ban, they face violation fees, with repeat offenders even facing eviction. In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the Consumer Electronics Show is preparing to take place in Las Vegas, but some tech companies just can't wait. A first look at some of the gadgets they're most excited for. And coming up at 5:30, Suncoast Representative Vern Buchanan is kicking off his time in office this year with a bang. We'll tell you about the 7 new bills he's already introducing. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
ABC 7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Are you paying too much for your cable or satellite TV? The U.S. government passed a bill mandating free over-the-air digital transmission of all broadcast network television channels. That means with the new TV Freeway digital antenna, you can get free HD programming from your favorite broadcast networks 24/7 without a bill. You just plug it into the back of your TV and start watching all of your favorite broadcast programs for free. There are no contracts to sign, no hidden fees, and no monthly fees. Just free HD broadcast TV. Take it with you anywhere. Call or go online now to get your TV Freeway stick for the incredibly low price of only $14.99. But wait, call or click now and you can get a second TV Freeway stick for a second TV. Just pay a separate fee, but you have to order right now.
Call 1-800-809-5196 to get your TV Freeway. Call now or go to tvfreeway.com. So call 1-800-809-5196. This offer's not in any store. Call now.
That will look great on you. Every time you shop here, you have the power to change lives.
Does she work here?
No, she's just a proud supporter of Goodwill.
Welcome back. It's 5:24 this morning, and tech companies are already showing off some of the gadgets to be featured at this year's Consumer Electronics Show. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have the details.
And today's Tech Bites, a preview of this week's Super Bowl for gadget gurus, a consumer electronics show in Vegas.
That's where Chrysler is showing off the future of minivans. This is the all-electric portal that can operate without a driver.
It recognizes who's in it and can adjust the lighting, temperature, and even the music. It's just a concept, at least for now.
Also at the show, a gaming laptop called Predator by Acer. It features a 21-inch curved screen and 4 speakers.
Price tag, $9,000. It'll be available next month. Good luck buying.
And Mattel is coming out with an artificial intelligence device to help keep an eye on your baby. It's similar to the Amazon Echo.
The Aristotle can instantly respond to your infant's cry by playing a lullaby, turning on lights, and sending a notification to your phone. Much like a souped-up baby monitor, price tag $300.
Ooh, it'll help with the baby, though.
Yeah.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Did you know 2 areas of your brain can make it hard to lose weight? Contrave is an FDA-approved weight loss medicine that may help adults who are overweight or struggle with obesity lose weight and keep it off. Contrave is believed to work on 2 areas of the brain, your hunger center.
I'm so hungry.
To reduce hunger and your reward system.
Ice cream. French fries.
To help control cravings. Across 3 long-term studies, Contrave patients lost approximately 2 to 4 times more weight than with diet and exercise alone. Contrave is not for everyone. One ingredient in Contrave may increase suicidal thoughts or actions in some children, teens, and young adults within the first few months. Other serious side effects include seizures, increase in blood pressure or heart rate, liver damage, manic episodes, glaucoma, and allergic reactions. Do not take with opioids. Reduce hunger, help control cravings. Contrave, the #1 prescribed weight loss brand. Go to contrave.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Our community has its struggles. The fact is, people have less than they did just a few years ago, and sadly, the need becomes more profound every day. Season of Sharing provides funds to help individuals and families in need, ensuring they will not end up homeless and without a roof over their heads. Together, providing a helping hand and making a difference. Season of Sharing. Give today at cfsarasota.org.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Our goal is to do things better than anybody in the country.
What makes Sarasota Memorial Hospital's program so special is that it's taking care of the patient in every aspect of cardiovascular disease. And in this community, the patients are very active. The idea is not just to get them over that operation, but to get them back to doing the things that they enjoy doing.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the debate continues on whether or not the Russians hacked into the recent presidential election. President-elect Donald Trump is now speaking out. Made in America, a major car company decides to expand its American manufacturing plant rather than move it out of the U.S. And it's out with the old and in with the new as the freshman class of Congress is now introduced in Washington.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us.
I'm John Scalzi, and we have some showers in the forecast this morning.
Yeah, lots of changes compared to the previous earlier in the week.
Absolutely. I mean, we were breaking warm temperature records. Yesterday, we didn't break any records, but we were on the warm side, too.
It'll be my first rain here in Florida, so that should be interesting.
That's right.
Not something I've experienced yet.
Well, we get some heavier rains than we're going to get today, that's for sure. Today is really, in terms of rainfall, not a lot in the rain bucket, but enough to make the roadways a little bit slippery. That's the important part, because it's been a while since we've seen some rain showers around, and this certainly is rainfall light enough to create a slippery situation, not heavy enough to wash away all the road oils. So do be careful as you head out the door this morning. Also, there's some patchy fog in air, especially in area waterways, so watch out for that as well. Otherwise, we probably see an end to these rain shower chances by around lunchtime or so, about 6 hours from now. And then we'll see some sunshine poke out for a bit before the clouds return and another cold front heads our way. We'll talk all about the forecast coming up in a few.
Thanks so much, John. Taking a look at your Suncoast traffic this morning, some minor congestion in Bradenton on 9th Street East, north and southbound. Over in Sarasota, traffic picking up on Washington and 301 northbound. And then also traffic picking up on Bee Ridge Road. And over in South County, all looks clear this morning in that direction. Well, it is 5:32 this morning, and topping our news this half hour, President-elect Donald Trump is at odds with the intelligence community, now claiming officials delayed a briefing regarding Russian hacking. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest from Washington.
The president-elect throwing shade on the U.S. intelligence community, tweeting, "The intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange." But intelligence officials say that briefing was always scheduled for Friday. It's the latest in the election hacking scandal that's found the president-elect aligned with a fugitive computer activist. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange telling Fox News' Sean Hannity Russia was not the source of stolen DNC emails.
We can say, we have said repeatedly over the last 2 months that our source is not the Russian government and it is not a state party.
But officials say those emails were in fact delivered to WikiLeaks by a middleman for the Russians.
Whether Assange is a knowing participant or what the Russians call a useful idiot, that's hard to tell.
Meanwhile, in Washington, House Republicans doing an about-face. First, behind closed doors, voting to protect themselves by gutting the Office of Congressional Ethics, created to make sure they play by the rules. Then, Trump tweeting, "With all that Congress has to work on, do they really have to make the weakening of the independent ethics watchdog, as unfair as it may be, their #1 act and priority?" And finally, a last-minute meeting and unanimous decision to delay, heavily influenced by those tweets.
Yes, it animated the press.
Trump announced he'll hold his first news conference in months in 1 week on January 11th. And at the same time, we're learning Bill and Hillary Clinton will join George W. Bush at the inauguration to watch Trump get sworn in as 45th president. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Following a threat from President-elect Donald Trump, Ford is now canceling plans to build a massive new plant in Mexico and putting their money instead in Michigan. Ford is now staking the future of its electric car business in Flat Rock, Michigan, investing $700 million in creating 700 new jobs. Trump called out the company for its business operations in Mexico yesterday, saying, quote, make in the USA or pay big border tax. Ford had previously made plans to build a new $1.6 billion plant in the foreign country, but says switching gears as they move forward is expected to be a good change.
We look at a lot of different factors, and one of the factors that we're looking at is our view is that there's going to be a more positive business environment for U.S. manufacturing under President-elect Trump.
The company's CEO also commented that he did not make a direct deal with the president-elect, though Trump has promised to renegotiate NAFTA and impose an import tax as high as 35%. Now, with Trump just days away from taking office, one issue that will likely be considered for defunding is Planned Parenthood. The nonprofit is controversial because it's the leading provider of abortions here in America, but it also provides cancer screenings, STI testing, and birth control, among many other things. Cutting federal funding would eliminate 40% of the nonprofit's budget, summing up to more than $500 million. Congress successfully passed a bill defunding Planned Parenthood before, but President Obama was quick to veto it. Conservatives disagreeing, saying tax dollars don't belong there.
If any money is going to Planned Parenthood, it is in some way subsidizing their efforts on abortion. So Planned Parenthood should never have been funded in the first place with tax money at all.
Now that a Republican-controlled Congress is back in session and Trump is taking office on January 20th, the possibility of cutting funding is more realistic than ever, though many believe the issue transcends politics.
There's no doubt that we are approaching uncertain times. Whether it's to raise a child, choose adoption, or end a pregnancy, it should remain between herself, her family, her doctor, and her faith, not politicians. And that is a belief that Americans across this country and all political sides hold, and that's the belief that we fight for.
In total, Planned Parenthood provides 2.5 million men and women with health care each year. And a recent study by the Harvard School for Public Health found that almost half of Trump's supporters are against cutting all federal funds for that organization. It was the opening day at the U.S. Capitol yesterday as the 115th Congress kicked off with Republican majorities in both the House and the Senate. And the GOP has an ambitious agenda planned, especially once they take control at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue. Congress came to order on Capitol Hill with the traditional pomp and procedure and some fresh faces, of course, as all new members were sworn in. Vice President Joe Biden had the honors of swearing in the freshman team. This will be Biden's last chance to do so. He has become something of a cult hero for his swearing-in ceremonies, previously kissing babies, posing for selfies, and he even took a photo with Senator Marco Rubio's 4 children. And a new congressman's son thought Dad's swearing-in ceremony was a perfect time to dab. Take a look at this video. That's Kansas Republican Roger Marshall being sworn in, and during the ceremony they were taking a photo, and Marshall's son, standing between Dad and House Speaker Paul Ryan, tried to dab. Now that's a dance move popularized by football star Cam Newton. The House Speaker apparently unclear, and all the rest of the adults unclear at what dabbing is. They then asked Marshall's son if he was all right and if he needed to sneeze. And they, of course, asked him to put his arm down so they could take the photo properly. The new congressman was also not amused. He wrote on Twitter that his son is grounded because of that stunt. How unfortunate. Well, Suncoast Representative Vern Buchanan is introducing 7 bills to kick off the new year and new session of Congress. Buchanan says his top priorities are tax reform, creating jobs, preserving Medicare and Social Security, and protecting America from terrorism. Now, a few of those bills include the Main Street Fairness Act, which aims to ensure small businesses never pay a higher tax rate than that of large corporations. And the other act, the Thin Blue Line Act, which toughens penalties against anyone who murders police and other first responders. And as the new year kicks off, one popular home-sharing business is making agreements with Florida one of their top priorities. And that includes areas right here in Sarasota and Manatee counties. The website Airbnb is a fast and easy way for people to rent rooms or find vacation rentals while avoiding hotels. And it's also a big moneymaker. In Sarasota County alone, the hosts made a combined $6.7 million last year renting out their Airbnbs. And right now, hosts in Sarasota and 34 other counties here in Florida have to collect and remit tourist development taxes to the county tax collector's office. That's why Airbnb is trying to establish agreements with those counties so the company instead handles those taxes. Well, if you're looking to head up north, you're in luck. Spirit Airlines is announcing plans to begin daily nonstop flights from Boston to Tampa. The seasonal service from Logan International Airport to Tampa International Airport will begin on February 16th and will run through April 26th rather. Spirit will initially charge around $445 for a round-trip ticket. JetBlue and Delta also fly nonstop from Boston to Tampa International Airport. And speaking of the Tampa Airport, if you're looking for a new job, then that's the place you want to be today. A job fair will be taking place from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. today. The airport is looking to fill 300 positions for restaurants and concessions that are scheduled to open over the next couple of months. Now, those openings come as part of the airport's overhaul that includes 69 new shops and restaurants. Next week, thousands of people will be traveling to the Tampa Bay area for the College Football Playoff National Championship game. And the Suncoast is expected to reap some of that benefit. While the game is actually being held in Tampa, hotel rooms there are expected, of course, to sell out quickly, making fans look into hotels here in Sarasota and Bradenton. According to Visit Sarasota County, the Ritz-Carlton near downtown Sarasota and the Holiday Inn near Sarasota Bradenton International Airport are expected to get a boost in business.
We surveyed our hotels last week, and we are indeed getting calls both from fans of the game who don't really have a team in the playoffs at all, some groups coming down, and of course the fans themselves.
Well, properties on Lido Key could also see some increased business. The national championship game takes place on Monday, January 9th rather, at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Alabama and Clemson will play for the title for the second straight year in a row. And lots of business. I mean, bringing in some money here to the Suncoast because of that championship game. So.
Little birdie told me that the Ritz-Carlton has 6 straight days of near capacity bookings already.
Oh my gosh! Well, there's a story right there.
Things are looking pretty good.
And the weather, how's that going to look out for that championship game?
Yeah, you know, I think things are going to shape up pretty nicely, actually. We're looking at perhaps a little more seasonable weather for a few days in a row, and then if things work out right, we'll probably be warm once again.
Go figure.
Go figure. And we'll talk all about the forecast coming up in a few.
And exercising is key when trying to stay in shape, but what you eat and drink can be just as important. We'll explain coming up in Health Smart. Stay with us.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory. It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Fort Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Ridin' at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbythebay.org.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried, Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rosaire from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Pretty nice conditions out there currently. We have air temperatures across the state that are generally in the 70s from about Tampa Bay southward. North of Tampa Bay, temperatures are beginning to change for the cooler because of a cold front, which is on our doorstep. 72 degrees in Parrish, Mayaca, 71 in Wauchula, 72 in Arcadia. Punta Gorda the same, so is Boca. Looking at Venice coming in at 72, 71 in Bradenton, 73 in Northport. Fairly uniform temperatures. And the reason for that is twofold. One, we have a breezy wind overnight that kind of stirred things up. But even more importantly, I think, is the cloud cover that's around. And we've had a few scattered rain showers. Currently, officially at the airport, 71 degrees, which, by the way, 71 exactly our average daytime high. Dew point comes in at 70, which is almost summer-like. And we have this south wind, south-southwest, coming in at about 3, helping to keep that dew point high. So all of those things adding up together to start off our morning a little on the humid side, a lot on the warm side, and a little on the unstable side as well, as we do have some showers around the area. Now, we have winds aloft that are generally coming from west to east. That's kind of visible here in the cloud pattern, the stream of air aloft. Nothing really diving south. So the fronts that are coming through will have an impact on our weather, but they're not particularly potent fronts. Now, back to the west, there's an area of low pressure that's developing. This one will dive southward through Texas, reemerge in a altered form in western Gulf waters, and gradually drift toward us over the weekend. That one will cause this high pressure ridge to pull down some much colder air. And I think as it moves into our region, you'll certainly notice the drop in temperatures, as for the first time in a while over the weekend, we dropped to below average in our daytime highs, significantly below average. But for the next two fronts, this one and this one, coming through today and tomorrow, it'll simply lower our temperatures to about average for this time of year. First one moves through this morning into the afternoon, bringing with it a chance at some showers. The second one moves through tonight, bringing with it mostly a little extra cloud cover. So showers end this morning, probably around noontime or so. The chance of rain goes away. And then we see a little bit of afternoon sunshine for a time before the second front clouds us up overnight once again. And it'll be cooler today by a few degrees than it was 24 hours ago. Rain showers, as you can see, are moving through the area. We have a couple of bands that have to pass through before everything quiets down around here. The last one is a very thin ribbon, and it probably will move through here by about noontime, and then high pressure builds in thereafter. The secondary front not doing a whole lot in the way of producing rain showers, but kicking off a few snow showers in the Alleghenies. And then back to the west, this is where the snowfall is going to be impressive over the next several days as it taps into that cold Canadian air, of which we get a taste this weekend. We're looking at today, a northwest wind at about 10 knots. Decreasing to about 5 to 10 overnight tonight. Now, boaters, pay attention to your winds over the next several days, because I think they will be picking up, particularly over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, when we have a good chance of showers with the next more potent front coming through. Sunday, our daytime high will struggle to hit the 60 mark. Most of the day spent in the 50s, and there'll be kind of a breezy wind putting a raw edge on that daytime high temperature as well. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at your Suncoast traffic this morning, there is some scattered congestion in Bradenton. Nothing too serious, though, on our radar this morning. Over in Sarasota, there is some congestion picking up on Bee Ridge in McIntosh Road. Looks like there is an accident on I-75 northbound after exit 201 on Fruitville Road. Over heading towards South County, all is clear in that direction, so keep an eye out for that fog as you head out the door this morning. Well, if you want to stick with your workout routine, eating is as important as exercising. In fact, proper nutrition and hydration can make all the difference. Researchers say quality carbs like yogurt, bananas, pasta, or peanut butter can improve endurance and performance. If you're having a large meal, have it 3 to 4 hours before your workout. It's also important to drink plenty of water, 2 to 3 cups in the hours ahead of your workout. Now, once you are done, it's recommended you drink 2 to 3 more cups of water to replace the fluids you lost while exercising. And when we order that salad, eat yogurt, or that healthy cereal, we may not realize how much sugar is hiding in the ingredients. Again, abs are made in the kitchen, is what they say. Well, ABC 7's Alex Redmond has information that could help you choose your food more wisely.
Do you know how much sugar is in your food?
I don't know how much exactly is in this salad, but I looked at the calorie count and it was 540, which was higher than the double cheeseburger.
Many of those calories come from sugar.
That's why I said I shouldn't have had the ranch.
People think they're doing something healthy when you could be pouring as much as 2 tablespoons of sugar and some dressings on your salad.
Many foods are loaded with sugar, says registered dietitian nutritionist Bonnie London.
Tomato sauce is a huge source, up to 10 teaspoons in a serving, which is about 1/4 cup.
Bread, soups, even meat, says London, have added sugars.
Yogurt is a huge source of sugar. People don't realize they're actually eating dessert for breakfast at times.
Here's food for thought. This is 5 pounds of fat. Now, London says that when you eat sugar, it raises your blood sugar. That raises your insulin levels. And when your insulin levels go up, that causes your body to store fat.
Granola, which is often considered also a health food, is also loaded with sugar.
We should check labels for sugar content, says London. However, it may not be so easy, as there are now 61 different names of sugar.
Fructose, sucrose, glucose, maltose, anything with the OSE, you gotta be aware that that probably is sugar.
London explains the shift is going back towards things like the Atkins diet.
When we got rid of fat, what did we replace it with? Was sugar. And what has happened in the past decades is we've had an explosion of obesity and an increase in all the chronic diseases that go along with it.
We don't need sugar at all, says London.
When you can avoid it when possible, you should.
For ABC 7, I'm Alex Redmond, your Suncoast News.
All right, lots of good information there. Thanks so much, Alex. Well, RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, is one of the most common viruses that causes respiratory tract infections in young children. Doctors say that RSV can stay alive on a surface for several hours, so it's very important for folks to remember to wash your hands, of course, especially during this time of year. RSV can sometimes be confused with the common cold because of its similarity in symptoms. Now, symptoms include a cough, runny nose, sore throat, and fever, all similar to that of the common cold, and will usually last about 5 days. Now, although it's common, doctors say that RSV can be very dangerous for the very young and the very old.
If RSV hits a young baby or an old individual or somebody who has some predisposing chronic diseases, he's going to land you into an hospital, and it's going to be much more severe than a typical rhinoviral infections.
Doctors advise parents with babies under the age of 6 months to avoid crowded areas such as shopping malls to lessen the chance of contracting RSV or any other contagious virus for that matter. Well, still ahead, this manatee is back in tip-top shape. How she made it from being trapped in a storm drain back into the open waters. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Goodwill because when I donate or shop, I have the power.
The power to change lives.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-658-3433. 800-658-3433.
Well, an injured female manatee is starting the new year by returning back home. Meet Venetia, who was rescued from a storm pipe in Jacksonville back in November, and it took 7 hours to get her out of that pipe. Meanwhile, SeaWorld Orlando cared for the manatee, giving her regular physicals and checkups to monitor her health. And just yesterday, she was transported by SeaWorld's animal rescue team to Blue Springs State Park with Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission on site as well. Now she can enjoy returning back to her normal life out in the waters. How cute, John.
That's awesome.
I actually saw my first manatee last Friday when I was out on the Skyway Bridge.
They're amazing animals.
They were huge. I
Yeah.
think I was like pretending to speak manatee, trying to get it to come over to me. So
Did it scare you?
No.
Some
they were
people
cute.
are scared by them. The first time they see them, they look so, somewhat prehistoric.
Right. All right. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.